Hi and welcome. My name is Joelle Ng and I'm here on behalf of the YMCA and we're going to do chair yoga today. Today's class is 45 minutes long. So, in preparation for the class today, get yourself set up in your environment. If you have a mat, you can use the mat and drape it across your floor just so that your chair has a little bit more stable foundation to sit on. If you don't have a mat, it's okay. Just try to stabilize your chair as much as possible. And now grab your chair if you don't have it yet, and you want to ultimately have a chair that has good weight to it so it's not going to tip over as you move around on the chair. So you want it to be very stable. You definitely don't want to have a chair with wheels. You want to have a chair that also has a nice back to it. So you want yourself and your environment to be very safe because we are going to sit on a portion of the chair. We're not going to really sit towards the back of the chair. And if your chair does have a tendency to tip forward, you can always grab something heavy like a book, maybe like a book, and place it behind the back of your chair so it stays stable. Okay? And then let's begin the practice today. So take your arms and fold your arms so they're crossed this way. Okay, and it doesn't matter which arm is on top. And then you want to take the fingertips so they're underneath the armpits and the thumbs face up. And you should be more towards the front of the chair and your feet firmly planted on and rooted down into the floor. You want to find that nice tall seat. You want to broaden across the collarbones and roll the shoulders down. Take your eye gaze now to either a point on the floor or close the eyes. I'm going to close my eyes. But if it doesn't feel comfortable for you to take your eye gaze down to a point on the floor, you can just stay with your eyes on to the television sets or whatever you have open, your eyes focused on me. And then just do your best to let the shoulder blades just melt down your back. And just follow your breath inwards. Let the breath just draw you into this present moment. And I know that's easier said than done. So if you'd like, you can draw in your 5 senses at this moment. Feeling the cool air coming in through your nostrils and the warm air moving out. Feeling the rise and fall of the chest and the belly. Maybe even hearing your breath. And just by folding our arms in this way, and letting the breath breathe you, this is a breathing exercise. Our hands that are underneath our armpits are tapping into the lymph nodes and the channels and the meridians that help to balance the right brain and the left brain. So notice which arm is on top. In this instance, for me, my right arm is on top, and it's connecting to the left brain. And in this left brain hemisphere, when that left brain is activated, it's more about that thinking mind, that analytical mind, that problem-solving mind. When that left brain is activated, we're very good with math, figuring things out. And we also tend to be self-critical and judgmental. But not to worry, we're going to balance out with the right brain So now take that top arm and wrap it underneath. It might feel a little awkward as you shift here. And for me now, my left arm is on top and it's activating the right brain. The right brain side of us is more about art and poetry and music. It's a little bit more open and intuitive and less confining in our thinking process. And then every 90 minutes, our human body either is breathing through our right nostril or our left nostril. So just by doing this breathing exercise, by folding our arms and balancing out with the other arm on top, halfway through, it helps to balance both brain hemispheres. And we want that balance because we want our concentration and our focus to drop into the midbrain area. That midbrain area where we can deeply dive in to stimulating and fostering the thalamus and pituitary glands. These functions that help to deliver neurotransmitters, the serotonins and oxytocins, that help us to live with a wealth of happiness and joy in the things that we do. Now slowly release the hands down to the lap and roll the shoulders up towards the ears and drop them down. Eye gaze can stay closed or your eye gaze can open up. I'm going to open my eye gaze up at this time as we roll the shoulders. And then roll the shoulders the other way. In most of my practices, I start off with a shoulder roll, only because most of the times this is the request that I get. It's the shoulders, it's the back and the lower back or the neck that has the most issues and the most tension. So I like to start off with the shoulder rolls. And it also helps to open up the chest, releasing any congestion or releasing any things emotionally that needs to come out. Releasing the weight of our shoulders through some of these anxieties and difficult times that we might be working through. Good, and slowly come back to center. As you inhale, reach the hands all the way up to the sky. Clasp the hands, leave the pointer finger up. As you exhale, lean over towards the right side. Root and ground into the left seat. So find your balance. Big breath in. As you exhale, lean over to the other side. Let the left seat be very heavy. Inhale back to center. Again, take it over to the side. See if you can reach even longer through the arms, through the side body. Open up through this space. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, take it over to the side. Good. Big breath in. Come back to center. Draw the hands down towards the midline. Relax the chin down towards the place of the heart. Relax the eye gaze down. And at this time, to set up your practice, you're more than welcome to plant a seed of intention or an honoring or a dedication deep within the space of your heart. If there's nothing that pops up for you, don't worry about it. Just allow yourself to flow through the practice. And then gently flutter the eyes open. Take the hands now behind the head. Take the elbows out wide, lift the chin up to the sky. As you exhale, take the elbows in, hollow through the belly, curve through the spine. Inhale, reach the elbows out. Open up through the front chest, chin lifts up. Exhale, curve through the spine, hollow through the belly, navel moves towards the spine. Inhale, lift through the heart. Open up through the throat center. And exhale. Pull yourself all the way in. So we feel this dance of the opposites as we move through the practice. We feel the opening and we feel the contrast of the closing in. You can open up as large as you need to, and you can close in as tight as you need to. And in between the opening and the closing, there's this merging in this neutral space where there is no opposites. There is no left brain, right brain. There is no opening and closing. There's just this merging of this oneness and neutrality. Slowly come back to center. And as you inhale, reach the hands forward and up. As you exhale, drop the right hand down, reach the opposite hand up overhead. Inhale, come back to center, windmill over to the other side and flow. Inhale, back to center and flow from side to side. So feeling that space in between, that neutral space where there is no separation, even when you feel the opposite ends. Good. Slowly just feel your flow and momentum. That inhale and that exhale, that receiving. Beautiful. Slowly come back to center. Come back to center. And then from here, take that right foot straight out. Flex that right foot. Sit up nice and tall. Reach the hands all the way up. Exhale, reach the hands forward. And sweep the hands down towards the floor. Inhale, curve through the spine. Reach the hands behind. Come all the way up. As you exhale, fold forward. Sweep the hands down towards the mat or the floor. Pull the chin in, reach the hands around and behind. We do one more like this. Inhale, sweep the hands down towards the floor. Rotate the hands all the way back up. Come into a nice tall seat. Energize through the fingertips. Relax the shoulders down. Move the torso forward. This time drop the left hand down towards the mat. Maybe the fingertips touch. Maybe they just energetically reach. Sweep that opposite hand around and wrap it behind the small of your back. Then your hand can either stay energetically reaching, or you can take it to the outside of that extended leg. And then peel that back shoulder open and twist. Twist here over towards the right side. Keep tucking that left rib cage underneath and twisting a little further. 2 more breaths here. Inhale 1. Inhale 2. Good. And slowly recenter yourself. Take both hands to frame that front foot. Either they touch the floor or they don't. You can come onto your fingertips, or you can even take your hands onto your shins. Wherever you're at, roll the shoulders back, take the center of the chest forward, and then fold in towards that leg. Getting a nice stretch through the back of the leg. And dropping down and melting inwards. Keeping that right foot flexed. Good. Opening up through that back thigh. just behind the back of the thigh in Marma therapy. Our bodies are like these filing cabinets, and they hold a lot of these impressions in our experiences. Just behind the back of the thigh, we hold a lot of our past memories, especially from childhood. So open up this space to allow this fresh oxygenated blood to travel through. So we're not holding on too far into the past. We're allowing ourselves to experience this present moment and newness. Slowly come all the way up. You can walk your hands up your legs. Come all the way up. Extend the opposite leg out. Flexing that leg forward. Reach the hands all the way up. As you exhale, hinge at the hip crease and roll. Take your hands around and behind, reaching all the way up. And then we just do this a few times, getting the circulation in the body. You can decide to move fast or slow. So I'm here to guide you through the flow and the movements, but you are the ones that determine how you'd like to live this moment, how you'd like to experience it. They say, the new research study says that 300 days of the year, we actually wake up on the wrong side of the bed. So that means we have a choice when we wake up in the morning, how we are feeling. If it's true that we wake up 300 days of the year on the wrong side of the bed, not so happy mood, we have the choice whether to change that or go with that. So you decide your experience. Extend long, take the body forward, and drop the hands down. Whether your hands touch the floor or not, it doesn't matter. It's about your experience, your opening in the body. You can always place your hands on the shins to modify, or you can just energetically reach and pause here in suspension. It's about this holding pattern and experiencing and feeling. And you can slowly melt down into that extended leg. Starting to feel where it is in your body that begins to open up. Our body is yearning to expand, open. It's not meant to stay confined or closed off. Our muscles and our tissues are meant to move. We're meant to have circulation traveling through that space. And then good, from here slowly come up, and we're going to come into that twist. So use that right hand and you can place it to the outside of that front leg on the shin, and you can wrap the other arm around and pull that back shoulder behind, spinning towards the left side. Flexing that right foot, and then finding your own threshold. We each have different thresholds. Some of us, we might be up here, which is okay. Some of us, we might be all the way down here. So practice your truth, where you need to be today. Satya, which means truth in Sanskrit. Slowly come back to center. Beautiful. And then draw that leg in. And then from here, let's come into a twist using the crossing of our legs. So take that right leg and cross it over the left. Grab your footing, place it flat on the mat. Reach the hands all the way up. As you exhale, twist around. Taking that right hand behind, grabbing onto the back of your chair, and coming into that nice twist. And using that other hand and pressing that hand into the outer thigh. Good. Slowly come back to center. As you exhale, twist over to the other side. Cross the other leg over. Grab onto the back of the seat for a deeper twist this time, using the chair to assist. Beautiful. And then slowly come back to center. And then now we're going to make our way into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So taking the right leg out to the side, toes point towards the right side, you're going to resituate yourself so you're at the edge of the seat. You're going to extend that opposite leg long, toes point forward, kneecap points forward. But you're going to feel your back thigh, and you're going to roll that back thigh in slightly so your toes might pigeon toe in slightly. The heel might turn out to help that to happen. So you need a firm stance on that back leg. You need a firm stance here on this other leg here. So you want to create that 90-degree angle. You don't want the knee to go past the ankle like this, and you don't want it to be too far back like this. You want the knee to be directly over that ankle and the other leg straight out. Reach the hands all the way up. As you exhale, take the hands out wide. Turn the palms to face up. Pull the elbows and the thumbs back and the hands back. Broaden across the front body. Relax the shoulder line. And then turn the palms to face down. As you inhale, reach the hands all the way up. As you exhale, drop that back hand down the back of the leg. Inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, bend the elbow on the right side. Take the forearm to the thigh. Reach around up overhead with the other arm. Inhale, reverse that warrior like a moving windmill or a ceiling fan. And then slowly just move from side to side, feeling what your flow is like today. Maybe it's fast, maybe it's slow, maybe it's pausing. Maybe you feel like you need to build a little bit more heat. If you'd like to build more heat, we all arrive here with our hands out wide. If you'd like to take lift off, take lift off. Lift the seat up off the chair. And then look over the right fingertips. Beautiful. Pause here, 3 breaths. Inhale 1. Inhale 2. Inhale 3. Good. And then slowly from here, take the hands to the hips. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So Warrior 2 on the other side. If you're standing, you can easily scoot yourself over. If you're in the chair, mindfully watch where your seat is at and reposition yourself for Warrior 2 on the left side. So again, check out your structure here from the base on up. Back thigh rolls in, 90-degree angle here. Taking the hands out wide, looking over the fingertips. Turn your palms to face up to help the shoulders to roll down the back and even out the hands. Make sure that back hand is not flying down too far. Try to even out the hands as best as you can. And as you inhale, reverse that warrior. So peaceful warrior, drawing that back hand down. As you exhale, flow through Warrior 2. Bend that left elbow. Arm reaches around up overhead. Parsva Konasana. Inhale, reverse. And then we just do this a few times to help the body to open up and come into your natural flow, your natural rhythm. Make this practice as enjoyable as possible. Feel this moment and build in this lifestyle of coming to the mat where it's enjoyable, where you can return to it every day. Good. And then if you'd like to build more heat, just pause here and you can take lift off with the chair, off of the chair. You're more than welcome to stay on the chair if that's enough for you. Pause here, 3 breaths. Inhale 1. Inhale 2. Inhale, 3. Beautiful. Then slowly come back to center. Parallel the feet. Have a seat or stay standing, your choice. If you're having a seat, just parallel the feet. Take the hands out wide. Take the hands behind the small of the back and clasp your hands behind the small of the back. I'm going to lift off and stay standing, but it's your choice. Pull the shoulder blades back. Draw the knuckles down. As you inhale, reach your chin up to the sky. As you exhale, fold forward. And squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together. And lifting the knuckles up. So you can stay seated if you are seated. And just forward bend as long as you feel comfortable. One more deep breath. Beautiful. Now slowly come all the way back up. You can use your hands to assist if you're off the chair. And then slowly have a nice seat. How are we doing, guys? Hope we're doing okay. Hope I see thumbs up. Not sure, but I'm hoping. Okay, now we're going to take a stand. And we're going to use the chair. So I'm going to turn the chair to the side so you can see. But you can keep the chair where it's at and you can just reposition yourself as best as you can. And then from here, we're going to step our right foot forward. We're going to step our left foot back into a low lunge. And move it a little more forward so I can step on the mat here and have a nice footing. So your back of the foot is lifted. And the back thigh is lifted. As you exhale, lower down and pause here. So building a little heat in the legs. You're more than welcome to drop the knee to the mat if you need. And your fuel level is not there today. So drop the knee and modify if you need to. Otherwise, if you have the energy and you'd like to build more heat, lift the leg up off the mat and lift that back thigh up. Holding here, you can either keep your hands onto the chair or you can reach your hands all the way up. As you exhale, take the hands out wide if your hands are up off the chair. If you'd like to go a little further, pump and pulsate back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wherever you're at, slowly replace your hands back on the chair if they're not there already. Hop that back foot in, place it flat on the mat, and then draw that right foot in slightly, and then slowly lift that back foot up off the mat, holding onto the chair, 5 toes point down. Now hopefully that chair is close to you. If it's not, maybe walk yourself up so you're close to the chair, so your torso is slightly over that chair. Take your hand down and place your hand onto that chair, the other hand here. Keep this other hand here on that chair to grip. And then peel that hip open, that outer hip, that top hip open, stacking the hip over that bottom hip. And if you feel steady, maybe lifting that hand up to the sky. This is Ardha Chandrasana using the assistance of the chair. Half moon. Good. Slowly come all the way back. Gracefully step back. Switch the legs out. Reposition yourself coming into that low lunge. Runner's lunge. Hands can either stay on the chair or your hands can sweep up. You can drop your back knee towards the mat if you need to, or keep it lifted. You decide the level of practice you'd like today. Take your hands out into cactus. If your hands are lifted, you'd like to build more heat, and pulsate back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take your hands to the chair if they're not there. Hop that back foot in, place it flat on the mat. Step that left foot forward. Your torso comes over the chair, the back of the chair slightly. Bending that knee and then lifting that back leg up off. Flexing that foot. Taking that hand on the standing leg side down towards the chair. And then either the hand can stay on the chair or that hand can reach up towards the sky. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Flexing that lifted foot and that back leg. So the back of the chair is now supporting the torso. Good, and gracefully, slowly step all the way back. Hopefully that was a thumbs up. All right, we'll see. And then just move the chair aside. And then slowly come onto the mat. And if you're not able to make your way onto the mat, and if you need to stay on the chair, you can stay on the chair. You can still do this exercise. We're going to take the legs out wide. If you're on the chair, just position your legs out so they're a V. And as you inhale, you reach the hands all the way up, and then you take your hands down towards the mat. If you're on the chair, you can take your legs now out and take your legs out on the sides of the chair, toes to point out towards the side. So you get a deeper opening here on the inner thighs. And then from here, you can slowly walk the hands forward. As you exhale, you lower down, lower down. And we just pause here, opening up the inner thighs. One last stretch. Good, and slowly come all the way back up wherever you're at. Take your legs into the center. You can stay on the chair if you are on the chair, or you can make your way all the way down onto the mat. Coming into final resting posture, Shavasana, roll yourself all the way down. If you're on the chair, just lightly place your hands on your lap. Relax your eye gaze down. If there's one last stretch or one last posture that you need, you can take it now. Wherever you're at, let all the bones in your body get heavy and relax it down. Feel as if you're distilling down into the earth, like ice melts to water. Big breath in. Open through the mouth. Exhale it out through the mouth. 2 more like this. Let the whole body just decompress down. And just stay there and pause. Press that pause button. Drink in this moment and surrender into this space. As you relax there, I am going to sit up because I'd like to leave you with a story. One of my favorite things is to tell stories. So the story goes like this. There are 2 monks traveling alongside the river. And these 2 monks come across this old woman that needs to get across the river, but she can't do it alone. She needs help. And these 2 monks, they hesitate because they feel they've taken a vow to not touch a woman or associate with a woman. But finally, one of the monks, and it was an older monk, says, okay, I'll help you. So he helps the woman across the river and puts her down on the other side. She's eternally grateful and so appreciative. So she thanks them and they move along their way. Later on that night, the younger monk is a little puzzled and looks troubled. So the older monk asks him, "What is bothering you?" And he says, "I can no longer travel with you." And he says, "Why not?" He says, "Because we've taken this vow and oath to not to associate with women, yet you've helped this woman across the river." So the older monk looks at him and says, and responds, "Well, yes, I did, but I put her down on the other side of the river, but you are still carrying her on your back." So you see, my dear friends, the whole idea of a yoga practice is to come into your present moment, to feel whatever it is you're feeling, to modify along the way as you need, to honor yourself, honor all of who you are. Some people might deem it good or bad, left brain, right brain. But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you are writing your story. And you are coming into the present moment in the best way that you know how. So in this last posture, whether you're in Shavasana, whether you're sitting on your seat, take a moment to breathe deeply. Feel all of you and the entire essence of who you are, without judging or criticizing or labeling yourself as good or bad, or happy or sad. Just be here in presence. Be compassionate and loving and kind. You can stay here as long as you need to. If you'd like to complete your practice now, you're more than welcome to join me in completing the practice. If you're lying down, find your way to a comfortable seat. Wherever you're at, take your hands to your heart center, feeling the right hand join with the left hand, feeling that space in between where there is no opposites. There is no right or wrong. There's a space of oneness, collective whole. As you bow your head towards your heart, take this time to honor yourself, mind, body, and soul. Because I see the light in each and every one of you, and I am so honored, and I bow to it. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Joelle Ng. This is Chair Yoga on behalf of the YMCA.